Hey y'all, I thought I would get on here and do a energy check-in for the upcoming full moon in Libra taking place April 6th, Thursday, which happens to be my 29th birthday. So, I'm going to read a little bit about full moons to y'all from my moon magic book, okay? So, it's pretty obvious that the full moon looks like a bright, round circle, okay? And this is the moon's most powerful phase. When you see the moon in its total illuminated appearance, this is the time of fulfillment. There is much activity around this phase, and it is a time when you should try to perfect thoughts and plans. If you are intuitive or would like to increase your intuition, your psychic abilities may surprise you under this phase. Meditating and manifesting what you want are most intriguing at this time. It's all about strength and controlling vibrations for a better outcome. Okay, sleep patterns are off. With a full moon, you might be a little bit restless at nighttime. I personally have noticed there's a 7-day window with full and new moons. So the energy most strongly present 3 days before a full moon, and then the full moon being the 4th day, and then 3 days after the full moon. So that's the 7-day window I'm speaking of, whether it be a full or new moon, okay? Now, the full moon is a great time to celebrate. It represents excitement and memorable times. The full moon is also tied to our intuition, and our psychic abilities are at their peak during this phase. So that's something to really embrace. So, as a magical and powerful time of culmination and positive results, this is an ideal phase to make positive changes and tackle challenging issues in your life. You have a much better chance of realizing a desired outcome if you take action during a full moon. So this is a good time for celebrations, marriage proposals, also a good time for crabbing, shrimping, and clamming. This is also a good time for signing a contract. This book says the first 3 days of the full moon are the perfect time to sign a contract if you want to experience fairness and honesty throughout the term of the agreement, which is perfect with the full moon being in Libra, all about balancing the scales and fairness. Okay. So, the energy of Aries is very much fiery, action-oriented, determined, passionate. All about getting things done, taking action, thinking later. Libra is all about keeping their scales balanced, especially emotionally, but with an emphasis on partnerships. This is a time where you can shine in social situations, a time where you can connect more deeper with an already existing romantic partnership or find the right partner. And these partnerships will be unwavering in their affections. So this is signifying a really good time for unions, reunions, crossing paths with soulmates, collaboration, building very strong friendships, meeting your soul family, etc. Maybe even reconciling. So, the card you see in front of you is a deck I created myself. Okay? And it's called Timing Cards. This is what the front looks like. Now, every deck I show you is available for purchase through the link in my personal bio, okay? Just click on the Linktree bio and hit Shop Card Decks. It has all the moon phases. It has every zodiac season. It has every month. It also has specific timings like 2 months. It has significant portals like summer solstice portal, Lion's Gate, has fall time, summertime, wintertime, springtime, etc. Has any day now. You get the point. So, I'm just going to show you all the decks that I got out. I don't know if I will use all of them. Now, I'm going to use the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell because I've been very pulled to this deck lately, especially with my client readings. It's really been tapping into the energies within the collective perfectly. Now the rest are my decks. So we have my Ascension Oracle deck number 1. We have my Ascension Oracle deck number 3. I know it's interesting I chose number 1 and 3 because at this time as a collective, 2 timelines we've all been fluctuating between are collapsing into a third. So 1 plus 1 equals 3, or you could also call it a whole one brand new timeline. I'm also using my Vibe with May oracles. Vibe with May oracle number 1. And Vibe with May oracle number 2. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so right off the bat, we got Portal. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards. Wild card. So at this time, there's strong chances for successful manifestation of you ultimately bringing the unseen into the material world, okay? So something you've been working long and hard on finally coming to fruition. And as I'm speaking of this, I'm thinking of October specifically. I know October, up until October 22nd is Libra season. It begins September 23rd. So anytime from Libra season, really, that you began sowing seeds, course correcting, etc., something could very well be manifesting. New opportunities will be showing up and presenting themselves, okay? And this is where free will comes into play. When your intuition is nudging you in a specific direction, it's up to you to use your free will to act upon those very intuitive nudges, okay? Also, opportunities and invitations, just new experiences in general. Say yes to these things because you have no idea where that invitation or connection, meetup, whatever, is going to lead you to. Like, literally, it could be the very doorway that leads you to the one last piece to your puzzle of finally achieving a very important and specific goal that you have long been desiring and dedicated to. Okay. Okay, what did I just say? Power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. So, you're going to have chances to go and do new things, to connect with new people, or possibly people from the past. Wherever you're being invited to, led to, this could be an idea to go to a grocery store in another town. I mean, literally just random ideas like that. Or to go to a restaurant right outside of your county, or just go somewhere you don't normally go. Follow that nudge, because there's a reason you're being led to wherever you're being called, okay? Okay, this is also a time where you are discovering that you simply just are not for everyone. And you no longer are able to hide who you are. You want to run naked, wild, and free, okay? Embrace your weirdness, embrace your authenticity, because following your soul mission and purpose requires you to be exactly who you are, to stand proudly, confidently in the fullness of who you truly are. Being completely raw and authentic no matter who's standing in front of you or where you find yourself. Remaining true to you. Face your true north, okay? And whoever doesn't accept you for who you are, well, then they can simply just go somewhere else, okay? This is a judgment-free zone. Be accepting of others and their ways of thinking and their beliefs. But make sure you're receiving that in return. If someone is treating you with disrespect, is completely disregarding your voice altogether, demeaning you, bullying you, etc., then hit the road. Like, you need to kick whoever that may possibly be to the curb. With love, of course. Because this is a time to surrender to the sweetness in life, okay? Venus is heavily present. I'm not an astrologist. I don't know much about astrology, but there's something going on with Venus right now, okay? And I know Aries and Venus can be a little wild, okay? This is all about pleasure and joy, making love to life. There's a man and a woman in this card, okay? So you very well could be experiencing romance around the time of the full moon. Finally coming together with someone. Maybe there's been some delays, detours when it comes to a specific connection. Maybe specific contracts had to end. Toxicity that you were surrounded with needed to be swept away so you could have space for this beautiful connection, partnership, union to come into your life and fully blossom. And so if you've recently made a choice to cut ties with anyone that's holding you back or pulling you down or not supporting you in the life you dream of creating, then you made the right choice. If you've recently made a decision to choose yourself for the very first time rather than following the crowd or whatever someone else wants to do or someone else's expectations, then congratulations, because you're about to move on up to the next level. Mars energy here. So this is a severing of cords. So there could be some conflict, anger surfacing at this time, needing to be expressed in a healthy way. This could lead to connections ending, but ultimately it's going to create space for you to soften up to love, to open up and receive love. You got to get rid of that anger, which anger is really a disguise for grief. There's grief underneath anger, okay? Unexpressed, suppressed grief. Also, Aries is ruled by Mars too, so that's very interesting. Let me just not be so scattered over here. Just kind of going with the flow. I don't really have a plan here. Just seeing where this leads us. Alright. I'm using Ascension Oracle number 3. Okay, so if you've been experiencing some choppy waters, look, there's a full moon in the background. Birds are going wild at this time. I don't know if y'all noticed, but down here, down South Alabama, the birds don't know which direction they're going, but they just know they're going to get somewhere. You are riding the waves out of the storm. And where are you going with this ship? Away from the people that are not for you. Straight into this sweetness. This loving embrace. And because you are walking away from what no longer serves you, letting go of connections that no longer serves you, this is a beautiful sign of tremendous growth and self-love, self-respect. Therefore, love is now being made visible because now your true people can come in. Now those that truly love you can show up and have a permanent position because you have that strong, steady foundation. You've decluttered things that were taking up space that didn't serve you or support you or align with your values. I'm also getting a strong feeling of getting extremely clear on your boundaries and putting those boundaries into place, finally sticking up for yourself, speaking your truth, saying no more, hell no, like this is never going to happen again. You either change the way that you direct your energy towards me and treat me with mutual respect, love, and consideration, or you can hit the road, buddy. This is divine masculine energy stepping into power, okay? So we all have masculine energy within us, and we've all been healing the masculine energy, especially since the Lionsgate portal. That's when our inner lions began to wake up in such a way where we were working through decluttering the mind, limiting beliefs, fears, generational programming, etc. So we could have a clear thought process in such a way where we were able to use our masculine energy in such a way that the masculine is a stable and safe container for the feminine, meaning aligned in unison with the inner feminine's desires, what the feminine desires to dream, what she's been dreaming of creating, the vision she has, the love and creation she wants to birth. Now the masculine energy has done all this purging, clearing space, and decluttering on levels I can't even put into words. It's created the necessary mental space for crystal clear clarity to filter in the conscious mind, okay? Where the masculine energy, which is all about the conscious mind, is able to be consistent, clear, and disciplined towards specific intentions that are in alignment with the feminine. Therefore, masculine and feminine are now working as a powerful team, an unstoppable team. And that's why these doors are flinging wide open and these successful manifestations are coming in. Alright. What did I say? Masculine and feminine are meeting in the middle. Okay, please have faith and trust. You are super spiritually protected at this time. Nobody is going to F with you. Nobody can harm you. Trust yourself and say yes to new opportunities, because these opportunities are leading you somewhere special. This is also a good time to disconnect from group thinking. Take a break from social media. Limit the amount of information you intake on a daily basis. That means stop scrolling. Stop mindlessly scrolling on social media just because it's a habit. Find a new habit, okay? Because you are on autopilot, very suggestible in those moments, because you're in this kind of like hypnotic trance where your subconscious mind is highly suggestible. So you don't even know the amount of negative information that's being suggested to your subconscious that you are just willingly accepting through that mindless scrolling. So disconnect. Because not taking time to disconnect from group thinking is never going to allow you to level up and have those aha moments, those conscious expansion beyond where you've been. It's going to continuously feel like you're just stuck in the same place, doing the same things, talking about the same things, speaking of the same energies. And you're going to get real clouded with perception, because it's basically you being part of a hive mind. You need that individuality, okay? Especially at this time. Again, portal energy, there's a portal open, and this portal, if you take a step back, pull all your energy back towards you. Your friends can wait. Conversations can be held off for next week, etc. If it is not important, then it can wait. If it is not an emergency, it can wait. Okay? This is a time where so many veils are being lifted to see the truth, to see underlying patterns and break free from these patterns, to finally see the truth of situations that have been quite literally in front of you this entire time, but you've been so distracted with groupthink, distracting yourself with social media and always having to connect with others, that you couldn't even see what was right in front of you. So this is triggering major changes. Big changes are coming, okay? This has to do with something you've been chained to for a very long time that stems really far back, okay? I'm getting this is a way of thinking, a limiting way of thinking, lack mentality. You're putting the past to rest. All these skeletons in your closet are finally being cleaned out, and you are like putting them in the graveyard because they no longer have space in your house. Again, full moon. Because now you understand it's time to think outside of the box. If you want to level up, if you want to ascend, if you want to rise higher, if you want to lift your vibrational resonance and help join in on raising the collective's vibrational resonance, it's going to require you to think outside of the box. Not in these past ways that have been conditioned, limited, very basic. Expecting the unexpected, like literally expect things you have never expected before. And remember, seriously, stop researching, stop seeking for knowledge outside of you, because your imagination is far more important and powerful than any amount of knowledge you could ever gain. You seriously don't understand how powerful visualizing something in your imagination truly is. It quite literally opens up a portal to that very timeline that's simultaneously existing, and you are visiting that timeline, and you are playing with it, and you are feeding it, you are fueling it, and you are quite literally inviting it in. You are pulling it in as a possible physical experience. So choose wisely when you are using your imagination, because the subconscious doesn't know the difference between a thought and an experience. Something you visualize and something that's really happening. Like, it takes everything pretty literal. That being said, this is a time to make a decision and stick to it, as timelines are about to shift. Another full moon. Timelines are about to shift collectively, meaning we are all going to shift timelines, and that's going to look different for everyone depending upon what doors you've been opening, what timelines you've been visiting. If you've been scattering all of your aspects in all these different directions that literally are not important or do not benefit you, you probably are not going to be moving anywhere but in this scattered position, frustrated, having to start from scratch. Discipline yourself. Decide what you truly desire. Pay attention to it. Fuel it. Spark the passion. All right. Alright, I don't know what's going on with the planets besides the full moon, okay? I know something's going on with Venus. I just heard conjunction. Maybe there's some kind of crazy conjunction happening. Y'all will have to let me know. It has to do with Venus because the Taurus symbol is really strongly standing out. I'm also getting Jupiter, something about Jupiter and Jupiter blessing. Jupiter showering down blessings, okay? So this is a time right now to detach your energy, take a step back for you, pull all your energy back to you, send all energies that don't belong to you wherever they belong for the highest, best good. So you can take some time to pause and reflect in order to redirect your energy. This is very interesting because now we have divine counterparts walking side by side. So if you have been at a distance from a soulmate, a twin flame, a high spiritual partnership that is of a romantic nature, this is a very important time to focus on the divine, spiritual, co-creative aspects of this connection. If you're always looking in the 3D for this individual, you have it backwards. To build a strong foundation in these connections requires you to facilitate that strong foundation first spiritually, communicating through telepathy, understanding separation's not real and that they are always there and a part of you, with you, simultaneously guiding you and you guiding them. You're always in communication, okay? They're always answering you. They're always reflecting back a mirror of yourself for you to see. They're always saying yes. They never say no. You send out a request, it's reflected back. But I'm also getting that this is a time for all the hard work you've been putting in spiritually to facilitate that strong spiritual foundation, mastering those higher aspects of the unseen, is paying off in a big way because you've been doing the work, you've been shedding the layers, you've been releasing the density, you've been letting go of the fear through exploring timelines. Okay. This is a time to really welcome in the new, okay? Allow the universe to show up and surprise you. Give the universe permission to surprise you with something grand, something magical. Allow your soul to lead the way. Take these risks on your soul. Bet on your soul. Your soul knows the way. Let it drive. Nothing is out of reach. Nothing, absolutely nothing is out of reach. The only limitation is your mind. And look here. This does have to do with romantic partnerships, okay, y'all? Some of y'all are getting some surprise communication, some surprise intimacy, one-on-one time, all because you got real clear on what to chuck in the F-it bucket. So this is a time to step outside of your comfort zone. And for many of you, stepping outside of your comfort zone is finally dancing to your own damn rhythm, not following the crowd, just being your unique, weird, authentic self. And there's only one you, baby. You could be imitated, but you can't be duplicated, okay? And stay in your own lane because driving in your lane is going to get you places. Swerving over into other people's lanes is just going to create chaos, confusion, and delay, as Thomas the Train would say. So be part of the solution. See resolution. Work as a team. Be a team for you. Bet on you. Choose you. Go in your lane. Move forward. It's time to turn up the volume, okay? Turn up the volume on what you're capable of. Raise your standards. Expect more. Expect better. Visualize and devote your time, energy, and attention towards seeing and hoping and dreaming better for the collective as a whole. Old ways are not going to open new doors. So stop trying to go back to those brick walls that surely have no doorknob left. You cannot get through those bricks. It's time to break the rules, be unconventional. Cross those barriers that you've been so afraid to cross. Talk to that individual you've been so afraid to talk to. Go to that location you've been so afraid to go to. Do that thing that scares you the most, because that's what's going to create the greatest expansion for you. That's what's going to cause you to ascend higher than you've been or experienced as of yet. Fear is simply not real. Face that fear, and you will understand that you are unstoppable, and fear can kiss your you-know-what. Also remember, you will surely find whatever you're seeking. So make sure that your crown is on straight. You're taking full responsibility and accountability for what you are creating, because you are the artist of your life. Life is your canvas. You cannot place blame on anyone else. For many of you, this is where balance comes in. You've been in two minds, sending out mixed signals. It's time to pick a side. You can't straddle two timelines moving forward. You have to pick one timeline, because we're about to shift and there's no more of this back and forth energy. Okay? Remember that your mind influences your very emotional state. And your emotional state determines your frequency. And your frequency determines that which you are in resonance with. So choose to align with amazing news arriving right now. Your intentions are contagious and hold tremendous power. So be mindful with your thoughts and actions, because they are both continuously influencing your outer world. Do not avoid emotions. Your emotions are messengers. Listen to them. Ask them what they're trying to tell you. Also, some of you really need to feel the pure fact that you're already worthy and ready right now for whatever it is you're desiring. It's time to believe it. Once you believe it, guess what? You're going to see it. And once you see it, you're surely receiving it. So I'm getting there's going to be like an influx of solar flares coming in, okay? Like massive solar flares, which is really going to be amplifying energies, clearing out space. Karma is going to be clearing throughout all the energy centers and chakras on all dimensions and levels. And that's what's contributing to all these timelines synchronizing. So all these timelines you've had open are going to be conjoining together as one. So make sure you're choosing wisely. You're closing and collapsing out timelines you don't want a part of anymore. Call your aspects back. Don't be scattered. These solar flares are literally your friends. They're helping you to reach new spiritual heights, which is shining lights down on things previously hidden, okay? Which very much has to do with pathways and bridges that lead you straight to your destination. There has been birds all throughout this reading. So, you're riding the waves out of the storm, as you already saw. And by the time this full moon is complete with its phase, you're going to realize you've become the storm. You're going to reclaim your sovereignty and fully break those chains, those invisible chains that have been holding you back. You're going to let go of all these identities you've taken on and realize that you are just purely you. Letting go of labels, conditions, all of it. You're also going to become very clear on energetic signatures. What's yours? What's hers? What's his? What's theirs? And what's not welcome in your space. Which is going to allow you to really get away from any kind of negative attachments, these entanglements that have been literally draining your life force. Which makes space for your soul family to come in. Your soul family has been activated. I'm also getting from this card, these are your multidimensional aspects right here, okay? And they're all coming into beautiful unison, one whole. Before they were scattered, they could not communicate with one another. You could not recognize the messages from your multiple aspects of yourself. But now you are clearly communicating with your multidimensional aspects. Therefore, you're all in alignment, working together as a team to reach your highest timeline and potentials. You're paying attention to the signs and the